So, we're going to talk about our first topic for the day. And before I get into this topic, I have a question. I have a question that it's a philosophical question. It's a really deep question. You really got to think about this one, okay? Do you think a side character knows that he or she is a side character in the show? That's a question I always ask myself. Like that is the question I always ask myself. Does like a character that literally is just like, you know, because you know the main characters in your show, right? The staple definition I can always give is like Dragon Ball Z, right? Like Tien and Yamcha, Yamcha especially, Piccolo, all of them. You think they know? You think that they just know? Or Krillin? I think that they know, right? I always think that they know. So I'd like to think that they know. I hope so. Oftentimes when I hear about things involving like losing weight, like there's like two extremes, right? You'll get like one side of the spectrum saying, "Oh, I have a high metabolism, so I can't like gain any weight," and then you'll hear, "Oh, I have a low metabolism, so I can't lose any weight." And I like to call this, my professor, my professor degree, you know what I'm saying? I call it the good old. Call it side character syndrome. That's what I'm calling it, okay? Oftentimes, you'll hear people always say, you're going to have to excuse my writing. I cannot write for the life of me. The metabolism is always too high, or your metabolism is too low. That's what I hear every time, okay? And that's the thing, right? Oh, hey, how's it going, Agent Papyrus? How you doing? The problem with this is generally... Oh, hey, how's it going, Kashi? Generally, people fall in the middle. How can I write with my left hand? I'm left-handed. That's how. Okay? Generally, people aren't special, dude. Like, you're not special, right? Generally, people fall into the middle. Okay? That's where people are, okay? This guy, metabolism too low. This guy, metabolism too high. Okay? But generally people just fall into the middle. That's what they do. That's what they do, okay? So that's the thing. They fall into the middle. And this is not a bad thing. I think this is a great thing, right? That means that you're generally like the general population. That's what you are, okay? If you're not gaining weight, it's because you're eating too little. And if you're not losing weight, you're eating too much. That's generally how it goes. I don't know the mentality behind why people put themselves on the extremes. Did I learn all this from Cells at Work and how heavy dumbbells you lift? No, I didn't learn any of this from that. But I do want to watch those shows to see how accurate they are. That'd be pretty cool. You guys are side characters, okay? You guys are side characters. You guys fall in the general population, okay? But that's a good thing. Because if you fall in the general population, that means you can lose weight and you can gain weight. It's possible. It's really simple. You got to eat more calories if you want to gain weight, and you have to eat less calories if you want to lose weight, okay? And a lot of times people don't keep track of what they eat. That's the biggest thing. I knew a guy at Walmart that I was working at. He was really thin, and he was trying to gain weight. And he'd always tell me, oh yeah, I eat McDonald's all the time. I drink, all types of sodas and all of this stuff. That's what they do. That's what he said he did. He ate McDonald's all the time. He was always eating fattening foods, and he didn't gain a single pound of weight. And he said it was because his metabolism was too high. Well, at the time I was like, okay, that sucks. I get it, right? Because I didn't know. It was like, that was like 3 years ago. I wasn't like that, passionate about fitness at the time. I wasn't paying that much attention. But now that I look back at it, he did eat McDonald's all the time. That is true, but he only ate McDonald's, he only ate once a day. And that was like a McDonald's meal. That's it. And if you're eating one McDonald's meal a day and like drinking a large Coke from McDonald's, that's like 1,100 calories. That's not enough to gain weight, even if you're trying to like dirty bulk or whatever. He wasn't eating enough. And I work right now, I work at like an HEB, and I have like kids coming up to me saying, hey, I'm trying to gain weight. And I ask them like, oh, okay, is it working? And they say, no, it's not working because I eat 4,000 calories a day and I'm not gaining a single pound of weight. And I'm like, really? Tell me what you eat. Like, tell me what you eat on a given day. And they tell me what they eat, and they don't even hit the 2,000 calorie mark. They're eating too little. That's the thing. That's the problem. I wanted to go into why I think that this is the case. So, why? I don't even know if you guys can see that. Why the extreme? Why do people go to the extremes? Okay? That's the biggest question, right? So like I think that the reason why people go to the extremes, there's a couple of reasons why I think that people go to the extremes of why they can't lose or gain the weight that they want to, right? And it's understandable. One of the main reasons why I think that people do go to the extremes when it comes to this is I think this is one of the biggest reasons. They've tried before and they failed. Okay? Again, you're going to have to excuse my handwriting. My handwriting is terrible. They've tried to lose weight or gain weight and they failed before. Okay? And generally, that is soul crushing. I remember when I was trying to lose weight and I was never able to. I was never able to lose weight correctly. I was never able to lose weight the way I wanted to. I was trying to be the anime character of my dreams and it never happened. Trying to do something that you're not used to or you're not comfortable with and putting your effort into doing that and not getting results sucks. That sucks a lot. Like that's terrible. I hate that, right? And it doesn't really make you like, so in your mind, you're like, well, why isn't it working? I'm doing the things that I saw on the internet or I'm doing the things that I've heard people say and it's not working. And so like it really does suck to try to do something and fail. But I do want to let you know, just because you failed the first time, it doesn't define the next time. Doesn't define the next time at all, okay? There's a really good quote that I say to myself a lot of times. If you want to increase your success rate, you have to double the rate of your failure. Okay. Generally, every time like I tell people about like a workout program, or every time I tell people like the nutrition side of things, I'm like, I don't like tell them specifically what to eat, but I tell them like, hey, like, these are the calories that you should eat, and you should eat around this stuff. Expect to fail the first time you do this because it's new. It's different. You're not used to eating the way you're supposed to. Generally, I tell people the first week or the first 2 weeks, it's like a trial period, dude. It's to see what works, to see what doesn't work. And then you adjust, you learn. Okay, so you didn't eat the calories or you didn't eat the amount you were supposed to on the first week. Why is that? Okay, well, I ate too little because of A, B, and C. Okay, now what can we do to fix that and then get you back on track? Okay, when you fail, your failure tells you something that you could learn from, right? You learn from your failures. You hear those cheesy quotes all the time, right? You learn from your failures. You have to fail in order to succeed. Well, actually, you know what? It's not a meme. They're kind of right, dude. That's kind of crazy. So your first time, you failing the first time doesn't define how you're going to do your second or third or fourth time. All it does is it tells you some things that you need to work on and you spruce it up, right? I think of it like tuning a guitar. When you play a guitar, after not playing it for a period of time, it gets untuned. It gets untuned so it doesn't sound the way you want it to sound. So what you have to do is you have to tweak it. You have to tune it. You have to tune it back. You have to make sure everything's on track, and you have to do those minor adjustments, those minor tweaks, and eventually, before you know it, you'll be hitting your goals. Okay, I think that's the first thing, right? The second thing that The second reason why I think that people go to the extremes when it comes to this is they don't take accountability for their goals, right? Not my fault / etc. No one is responsible for your goals. Only you are, okay? So, and like, I'm a little bit like, I'm saying this with love, okay? I'm not saying like, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself, because I make excuses all the time. I make excuses all the time for every time I don't reach something. Every time I don't work out at the gym, it's because of something else. It's not my fault that I didn't plan for this. I do this all the time. So I feel for this one, because I am this. I am this a lot. But I'm saying this from a place of love. The sooner you start taking accountability for your goals, the sooner you'll hit them. Okay? The sooner you realize that it's no one's job to help you lose weight or gain weight, the sooner you'll start working for ways or setting yourself up and planning to achieve those goals. That is how you're going to start. That's the best way to do it. Okay? It's like, you can say things like, oh, you know, my friends invited me out, and, you know, we like to go to McDonald's, or we like to go to, you know, Buffalo Wild Wings. And so, like, you know, it's not my fault that, like, you know, I went out. Are you telling me not to hang out with my friends? No, I'm not telling you not to hang out with your friends. I'm telling you that if you're going out to eat with friends, you should plan ahead. That's what you should do. Okay? If you're going out to eat, you should plan ahead. I know that I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I know I'm going out to eat with my friends. Okay, so maybe instead of eating that ice cream today in the morning or something like that, I'll cut off the ice cream and I won't eat ice cream, so I can have more food to eat when I get to Buffalo Wild Wings. Or maybe if I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, instead of getting fries with my wings, I can get celery sticks or carrots. There's many ways that you can just reorient and plan ahead. I'm not telling you to be a health nut. I'm not telling you to be a health nut overnight. I generally, honestly, if you eat a bunch of garbage foods, I think the worst thing you can do is going from eating garbage foods to eating just completely healthy foods, because I think it's a system doomed to fail in the first place. I think you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to binge and do that stuff. I tried it a lot, and it failed every single time. So, you know, take baby steps. Baby steps. Okay, maybe you eat, like, I don't know, three donuts a day. Eat one donut a day. I think that's better. I think you'll do that consistently better than you quitting donuts cold turkey and, like, subbing the donuts for celery and salads. I think you'll do much better just going from one donut a day to from 3 donuts a day to 1 donut a day. Probably. I don't know. What do I know, right? Who am I? So, no accountability. The third thing, the last thing, and I think this is one of the more important ones. I think this is also the most important one. You gotta believe, dude. You gotta believe. You gotta believe in the heart of the cards, dude. You gotta believe. That was my attempt of drawing a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Just in case no one. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so they don't believe that they can lose the weight or they can gain the weight. They don't believe. They don't believe they can. They don't think it's possible. And you know what? If you don't believe you're doing something, then why even try to do it in the first place? If you don't believe that you're going to lose the weight, if you don't believe that you're going to gain the weight, then you're not going to put in the most effort to try to do those things in the first place, right? When I was working at Walmart a period of time, I was working as a stalker in Walmart. Honestly, Walmart's probably the worst job I've ever worked at in my life. I was a stalker at Walmart. And every day I worked at Walmart, we'd have our supervisor come up to us, and there's like a lot of grocery stuff that you have to unpack. There's a lot of stuff we have to stock, right? Because it's our jobs, and we do it for 9 hours, 2 to 11, 9 hours a day with, 2 15-minute breaks and an hour lunch. Okay? And every day our supervisor would come up to us and look at all these pallets and say, because it's 2 p.m. at this time, he says, I want this done by the time you guys are on your hour break. Okay? So he gives us 4 hours to clear out the whole back row. 4 hours every day. He tells us that every single day. I kid you not, every single day. And every single day, we don't finish the job till it's time for us to leave. Okay? So what do you think happens after me working there for 6 months when he comes in and he tells me that? What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to look at him and go, okay, sure. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not even going to put in my hardest effort to try to finish it at 5 o'clock because for 6 months in a row, we never hit that goal. Never, ever, ever. And I don't believe that we can hit that goal. And because I don't believe I'm going to hit that goal, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try to get it done by 5 o'clock. Why am I going to try to do that? What is the incentive to trying to do that? So you don't believe, guys. If you don't believe, you won't achieve. You got to believe. You got to believe. If it's not in the heart of the cards, believe in, I don't know. Believe in me that believes in you. If you can't believe in yourself, believe in the me that believes in you. That's what you got to do, dude. Do that. Do that instead. But you got to believe. It's as cheesy as this sounds. You really have to believe that you can do it. Because if you don't believe that you can do it, you're not going to. You're literally setting yourself up from failure to start, dude, right? If you're trying to build a house, and you have no cornerstone, that's a right angle. If you don't have a cornerstone, or if you don't have a good foundation, the whole house is going to come crumbling down anyways. And you know the house is going to crumble down. So why build the house in the first place? You know it's going to crumble down. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to try, you got to do, and you got to know that you can do. And if you don't believe that you're going to fail the first time. Believe that you're going to fail the first time, okay? And when you do, you go like, what can I learn from that? And then do it, okay? We're side characters, guys. We are side characters in this game of life. We're side characters in this game of losing weight and gaining weight. The majority of people, a good chunk of the people, the general population, which refers to most of us, right? A good chunk of us don't have issues with like high metabolism or low metabolism. But even if you do have high metabolism or low metabolism, because metabolism is like relative to what you have, right? If you have more lean muscle than someone else, you're gonna have a higher metabolic rate because it takes more energy for you to maintain that muscle anyways, versus someone that doesn't have that much muscle, right? If there's someone that doesn't have as much muscle as me and they weigh the same amount, I'm still gonna burn more because I have more lean muscle. And vice versa, right? I'm not a doctor, okay? If you really do believe that you have issues with your thyroid or you have issues with like your metabolism or you have metabolic syndrome and stuff like that, go see a doctor. Go see a doctor. Please, please, please go see a doctor. Go get that tested. Don't go off of my word. Don't assume just my word. Do research. Go see a professional that knows what they're talking about. And if the answer is you're in the general population, then that's great news for you because all you have to do is you have to eat correctly and work out correctly. And that's what this channel is for. I'm going to tell you how to do all of that and then some. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff. But like I said, and some final words for this, right? So you found out you're a side character, okay? So you find out that you're not in the extreme. You're not too low metabolism. You're not too high metabolism. Okay? You're not too low. You're not too high. You're just right, as Goldilocks would say. That's great. Okay? You're a side character. Okay? You don't have any special conditions that give you all those things. You're the general. But even the general can make an impact. Goku didn't become a Super Saiyan without Krillin. That's what I always tell people. And Uncle Iroh from Avatar is probably one of the best characters in Avatar. And he's a side character too. Just saying. That means you guys got a chance. You guys still have a chance to be the badass of your dreams. If you don't want to like be so buff that you know, maybe you don't want to, I don't know, like be so swole that you can't fit through the door. You don't have to, right? Maybe you don't want to be super lean. Maybe you just want to feel better. Maybe you just want to feel confident. Well, you can do that. Work it out.